It's not on your radar.
So did anybody
It's
see-
mine.
Right.
Oh, I know what that
Like-
is.
Anybody
Selling
see
mine.
the
Yeah,
gigantic announcement yesterday about Compass buying all those real estate companies?
Yeah.
Now they're the largest company in the world,
Yeah.
Yeah.
real estate company.
Who'd they buy?
They bought like Caldwell Banker, I don't even know. I was
Century
thinking about looking it
21,
up.
Porchline, a
They-
couple of other,
they-
yeah.
They
Oh,
bought all
wow.
these
Here, I
companies.
can tell you.
All
They
the
were
state companies.
having a huge
All the companies
convention.
that just kind of go,
Wow.
Right.
That's not
don't
bad
move the
news.
market share.
Isn't it bad news?
Well, they were saying that it's bad news
Oh, I didn't know
for
they were that big.
the bigger companies, you know, like the Remaxes and the Kellers. They're thinking that that's really bad for them.
That's
It's
like a
gonna crush them a
monopoly.
little bit. Right.
That's
But they're
not-
saying it's fantastic for independent small companies.
Yeah,
Because people aren't gonna wanna use the Walmart gigantic
yeah.
corporate thing.
One-stop shop,
Yeah,
nameless, faceless.
that's what I heard yesterday from some people, but, who knows? I'm not an
I
analyst.
disagree with that.
But I thought I'd ask you guys, what you guys thought of that if you saw it. It was pretty
And
crazy.
it's
But did you
Cobalt
see
Banker.
too, like last week, Ed Leba and Casey left
They did.
Keller Williams and went to EXP.
Yep. Mhm.
That's a
Really?
big move, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I guess I talked to somebody that was over there. Yeah, right. You raised your arm. You kind of have to get out of that situation. I guess they were dating or something. So, yeah.
What's the?
Oh, they're married
They
now.
got married in Vegas.
Everybody's
You're right, yeah,
Prior to the other
exactly.
I
one.
don't actually go.
Right, there's no physical office. Well, there's one physical office in Inglewood.
For
Which one?
EXP?
Yeah. for
Compass?
EXP. No, EXP.
EXP.
Oh, yeah, XP, yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
they're like-
Siobhan has that office over here on Academy.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, there's an
Okay.
EXP right
Every
there.
time I see it online, I see Inglewood.
Siobhan Salusta.
But they have like a main office and then everybody's independent, so they pay for their own office. Or like if,
Oh,
like
okay.
Nahum Rodriguez used to do that, right?
I think
They used to
so.
have,
Yeah.
yeah. They used-
Well, they only need one office because
Yeah.
it's like an Amway, right?
Yeah.
There's pyramids, so
Yeah, and
you're
Siobhan has.
belonging to the one office, but you go with pyramids, you know,
Academy.
Yeah,
yeah.
garbage.
So, I know.
They're never there
I don't
either.
get it.
What do those offices provide? The ones that are, everybody's in their houses doing their own thing and they just call this.
Nothing, that's why people like it.
What?
Well, that's why
That's why
people
people
like
like
it and they hate it.
Yeah.
They
But why
like
be an
it.
EXP? You can be your own broker, you don't have to be with the company.
If
they
you've
don't
been
provide
long enough.
anything.
Well, they provide stuff like all the other companies, like a CRM and website and
Okay.
all the basic stuff.
Okay.
But where people hate them, where people like them is because there's stock options and things like that that you get.
Oh.
But then people hate them because it's all online and they like
A lot of
community.
virtual
There's no
training.
help.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no fellowship with.
There's no Rob to
Right,
call at
that's
night.
right,
You're
yeah.
like, hey,
Right.
Rob, sorry you're sleeping, but, you know.
We have a guy
I've done
coming
it.
over here. You guys know Doug Marsh? Does anybody know Doug?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
I work
coming
with
over
him a lot.
here.
He's a
But-
good guy.
Yeah, he's with VXP. He's like, oh, dude, I hate it over here. I can't get a hold of anybody. You know, so he's coming. He's
He used to
he's
do
been
that.
trying to figure out how to get over here and, you know, when you have like 5 listings, how do you get them transferred and all that crap?
He just had a
Major
big, major blow in his family.
Major,
too.
major blow.
How do you transfer? It's easy in commercial to transfer listings. How do you transfer it? Is it
Well, you just have to tell the broker and then they say, well, like Keller Williams, some of these brokers, they say, okay, bye, and we
Yeah.
keep your listings.
Yeah, but like
But
the
some of
client
them,
is listing with you, not with Acquire Homes. You know what I mean? Like
They own it.
no,
I know they own
that
it, but
listing
if I'm listing with Rob Reinma
Uh-huh.
and they go, sorry, hey Susan, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go to EXP or whatever. I'm like, well, I don't want some faceless person I don't know controlling my property. They're gonna wanna stick with you, so how does that work? They
Okay,
can't.
so there's 2 different ways. So if the brokerage is cool, they'll go, hey, just close it with us and you can still do it,
Oh, okay.
right? Or if they say, no, I'm gonna take it from you or whatever, because some of the harder core companies would do that because, you know, they're big and corporate and they don't care. Then you would have to cancel the listing agreement with the people and
Yeah,
then start it
exactly.
new. But that's such a hassle to do that with your clients.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
We
it's
do it
just,
all the time, so, yeah.
right, because you guys have commercial, but what if you had 10 listings and you had to call 10
I've had
different
20
people?
listings.
And you could just
Well, I didn't switch companies.
cancel
when I
everything,
tried-
right?
No,
Yeah,
no, but so if they want, they list it with me, not with my company. That's how they think of it.
Well, that's exactly right.
That's not how the company
But-
thinks.
That's not
Yeah.
But you
But
have
my
to call
company,
them.
but my company, so far, and I've been with, I don't know, 8 or 9, they're not going to force anybody, especially like, a big LLC that's based in California or whatever, they're not gonna go, hey, we own your listing, I don't care if Susan's here or not, and they're like, I don't think so. So they don't, it's different.
If you were with a big company and you had the Holly Sugar Building listed
Mm-hmm.
for 100 million, would the company go, oh yeah, go ahead and switch companies, take it with them?
No.
Yeah.
Not on 100 million.
They absolutely do that. And it's not because they like it, it's because the Holly Sugar ownership says, I want out of this listing, we're gonna do it the easy way or the hard way, which way do you wanna do it?
Well, that's right.
That's how they do it.
Well, yeah, right,
Yeah.
so they would cancel with the company,
That's what
but,
happens.
but,
I just was curious, that's all.
no,
Yeah.
I'm saying that, I'm just thinking that every time somebody comes over here, they have to figure out all these ways. So like, I know Keller Williams would delete everybody right away. Like if you walk in and go, I'm gonna give you 2 weeks notice, has anybody been with Keller and done this?
Yes.
Okay, I've had multiple people come over and they go, and I wanna give them notice that I'm leaving. So they go and they go, hey, I'm gonna give you notice, and they go, you're gone, bye. And they delete your emails, they delete your websites, they delete
commercial
everything,
does
right?
They change the keys. it's
So,
locked
yeah,
and
you're
everything.
all screwed.
Yeah, well, Highland
So-
does that. I worked for Highland.
Yeah.
They didn't do it to me.
Alan Escrow
But-
does that too.
But Olive Real Estate.
Mortgage does the same thing.
I know firsthand.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it depends on, so basically my rule of thumb is, I don't tell them I'm leaving until 5 seconds, I'm out the door and I.
That's
bring
what I
the
tell
keys.
them. I say,
Yeah.
look, get all
Wow.
your affairs in order, figure out how to get your listings canceled or redone or whatever. As soon as you tell them, you might not feel, it would just be a disaster.
Wow.
So get everything in order and then do it.
I mean, I did that with Olive and they were offended. They're like, why didn't you, what are you doing? We like it. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I have
I
to
didn't
protect
know.
myself. Exactly. It's a
So do
little
you
world.
take on those listings? Like if somebody transitions over, do you put them, like we do this in the mortgage side, like we just say, do your app in my name. Then when you're over there, as long as it's not locked, I can switch it back over to that loan officer's name.
Yeah,
And so that it stays in their pipeline. Otherwise I gotta, close it in my, if it's locked, I gotta close it in my
Right.
name and then give them a bonus and all that.
yep.
That's
Like I had
where
a-
do they lock it? and then
Yeah,
you're-
yeah, so if we're.
I had
floating,
a agent here that she was doing HUD repos during the crash.
Yeah.
She had one of the HUD contracts. And the HUD changed all their thing where they had these asset managers. And they said, look, we want you to be with a bigger company, you have to go to RE/MAX. Right? They literally told her that.
Damn.
HUD,
Crazy.
HUD told her that?
Yeah, the asset manager that they
interesting.
had.
Took your seat.
Did. I'll just sit on the couch with everybody.
Yeah,
Or squish in.
Yeah.
so the asset
Sorry.
manager told her
Didn't mean to put my
that.
fingers on
So,
your foot.
Squeeze it.
what am I to do? I wonder what's best for her. You gotta keep that HUD contract.
Yeah, that's
You
a-
need to go.
Oh, wow, so she had to switch?
Yeah,
Did she end up at RE/MAX?
yeah, she had.
Crazy.
Oh, this, girl that, had a contract, we were talking about switching brokerages and how she had to switch to RE/MAX, so she had to quit here. But, yeah, it was
I don't even know
interesting.
if HUD's doing anything here in Colorado Springs right now.
I don't know.
I don't think they are. Because I work with,
Oh, no, they are. We just had an agent close a HUD deal,
really?
and, which is crazy because we're gonna have to start talking about how to get it with an asset manager again, to see if anybody can land these contracts. Some of you guys remember Westfall and Associates, Westfall and Associates. I mean,
I could do that.
yeah, so it's really hard. Dave Downey, he's not here, he's on vacation, but he was doing BPOs. Does everybody know what a BPO is? It's a broker price opinion. So that when the banks are getting repos or people are behind and they're trying to negotiate stuff, they wanna know, let's say a short sale, they wanna know what I think that house is worth. So they pay me $50 to do a broker price called BPO, send it to the bank so they can decide whether or not they wanna accept, either a sale or a short sale, or even a modification of the loan, right?
Remember when you
So
said you
they
wanted to
want a
get, like-
separate arm's length, yeah, exactly.
Do you remember how much I
person.
charged? And that was a special, it was like half of what I normally charge.
That's like a lucrative business when
So what happened
But
with,
if you
with
get a
Dave
bunch of
Downey,
them.
is Dave Downey got into this thing, they were all sitting in BPOs, and he was doing maybe 10 a week. So he was making a little bit of money. But his ultimate goal, even though he's only getting $50 per, his ultimate goal was for that asset manager to send him going, hey, we're foreclosing on that, can you list it for us? So then he started getting some repos. And then he started selling, 2 a month or whatever.
Because they knew him.
They knew him, they
Knew
trusted
him.
him from the BPOs.
Okay.
So this guy named Westfall, he had some of those managers in there. Well, people started going to him like crazy. And he probably sold, I don't know, you think at least 5,000 homes? Like he had
Wow.
100 on the market at any time. And every time I would sell one of his bank repos, I'd have to take the earnest money up to his house. And I would just walk right into his house. He's up in Flying Horse. You remember that? Oh, does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember that?
I remember
Walk
trying
right
to get
into his
mortgage
house, there's his
information.
kitchen, his wife sitting there. You walk downstairs, you have a little sign directing. You go down there and there's like 6 women. You're like, they're all working down there. And he's on the phone, no. And I'm going, this is unbelievable. It was amazing. The guy became a multi-millionaire selling repos. So then you get into other, like HUD. HUD had a contract with 3 people, Muldoon, Karen, and Tom Lazaro. And they were they would list all the HUDs. And that was a lot, because I would have to go to HUD's website and fill out the whole form for an offer. And then, I don't even know, you did some work for Karen. You'd have to call the people, there wasn't a ton of work for her, right?
No, it got worse, once they started to use the Equator system. Like once Fannie Mae switched from, it used to be just like we normally do business. Oh, we got a contract and we email this to the asset manager. He reviews it, signs it, he emails it back, so on and so forth. But then once they went to that Equator system, and that's where kind of the breakdown happened. Like I would stay on task with a lot of the things that I was doing, which was transaction coordinating basically. But they broke it down into such specific little things. Like as soon as you got an asset, you had to run out there, you had to turn in photos within 3 days. You had to do this, you had to do that. You had weekly inspections where you had to upload photos, and it would count down, daily. Oh, it's T-2 days till this is due. Now you're in the red zone, and they gave you a report card. So any of those tasks that fell into the yellow or the red zone, it hurt your report card, and then that would in turn basically affect how many deals they were sending your way, how many houses that you would get.
Right.
But
And I had a VA contract, and they were sending me some of them, so I was listing those. But it's a thing where it disappeared after everything started getting back to normal, and there was no more foreclosures. Well, a few weeks ago, one of our agents called me and said, Rob, how do I put an offer in on a HUD repo? And I'm like, oh, let me go to the HUD home store. I didn't realize they were back.
Got to go to their website.
I had to go to their website.
Get the
I
2-page
saw
contract.
it. I had to update my HUD number for the brokerage. And we had to put in a bid, but I couldn't get my HUD number accepted fast enough, and she really wanted to get this property. So I called the listing agent who has it, and this old lady's like, yeah, okay, let me figure out how to do that. I'm going, how did she get the HUD contract? How did she get the HUD?
She's had it for 100
What
years.
was-
Grandfather.
Right, what? No, I've never heard of her name before, and she was, and I said, look, can we pay you to make the offer for us? You know, cause I didn't have my HUD number, and she's like, yeah, no problem. And so she did it for the agent. So I definitely got my HUD number back up and running, so if you guys ever wanna start looking at HUD Home Store, but the moral of this whole story is, we have to start going for asset managers again. Cause somebody in here could end up with a bunch of repos that the banks just give you. It's just an arduous process to figure all that out, you know, but maybe start Googling or something. how
Well, and
to
what I
do
realized
that.
after doing it, if you're gonna do volume, you need a team. And you need a good
You
team.
have to have.
Because you're paying for so many things and you have to submit all that stuff for reimbursement. You have to have a team on utilities, doing all of that. You've got, you know, like me, I was a transaction coordinator, a team that's just dealing with the other agent and getting paperwork submitted and signed and done the way they want it done, because they're so picky, you know.
That's why that guy in his house had
Had
all
all
those
those
people
people in
down
his
there.
basement.
Yeah.
It was a going operation, man.
Yeah.
Because HUD will come in and say, okay, we got this property, and we're talking about HUD, right? And they get this property, they don't know anything about the property. So they call you, their representative for this area, you run out and look at it and take pictures, whatever, right? And then they're like, oh, is it missing any railings? Is it missing any this and that? You need to get a handyman over there and put some railings in there because that's dangerous or whatever. Or is there broken windows? You need to secure the locks and change the locks. All that money comes out of your pocket. That's where you're reimbursing. You gotta send in and
And
get
so you have to
reimbursed
keep
by HUD.
receipts and all
So
that
you're
other
doing all this
stuff.
stuff for them. You are their arm. But
Like
it's
I said,
lucrative.
They
And
used
if you
to,
have 10
they
of
used to
them.
trust people to do what they were supposed to do, and then they were like, we can't trust people. So they basically, every teeny tiny thing that you would do throughout the whole course of getting an asset to getting it closed, there was a task for it in Equator, and you had to upload pictures or upload proof of everything that you did.
Right.
Wow.
And
Pain in the butt, but
one
totally
time
doable.
VA told me, hey, we have this asset, I need you to go over there and check it out. So I go over there, there's people in there. And I go, hey, I was sitting over here by the VA, let me call them. I call the VA asset manager, and she's like, are you serious, there are people in there? Call the police right away.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
okay. And I was with Tina Bauer. So we call the police come, and the people are like, telling the police, we just bought this house, we closed on it 5 days ago. I felt like an idiot. Because the VA was totally off.
They hadn't
I'm
gotten
sitting there
their
trying to get
payment
these
yet.
people out of this house. Saying the VA owns this house. They're telling me, I'm on the phone with them right now, you have to leave. And they waited for the cops. And they're like, we closed, like, here's our paperwork. So,
Oh my God.
so horrible.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, you have to go out and meet with all those people if they're doing cash for keys and make sure
Right, you
that
have to-
they left it okay and give them the checks.
We'd be like, look, if you get out of this house, we'll give you $5,000 if you leave in 2 weeks. If you don't leave in 2 weeks, it turns into $500 or whatever, you know, you
Cash for keys, man. I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that.
Oh, it was brutal, but I feel like we're coming up with some of that stuff right now, because I'm seeing some of my clients going, hey, I just picked up some of my investor clients, I just picked up an auction property as a public trustee that we rehabbed 2 years ago, and it went into bankruptcy, went into foreclosure, yeah. And so that stuff started to come out of the auction again.
Hey, you mentioned HUD Home Store. That, like, we used to have loans that are still there, but if you go to the HUD Home Store and you search, there's another tab that's the Good Neighbor Next Door. Those are the teacher, firefighter, first responder, any of those, like nurse. If you serve in that zip code, you get the house for half price.
Half price,
You get
50%.
Yeah, you finance in the realtor commission and any repairs needed to get those minimum property requirements up. And then you keep, as long as you live there 3 years, you keep that equity.
Right, so that was beautiful. They would have this, like 80905 was a big area. They're trying to revitalize it.
Yeah.
Teacher, firefighter, policeman,
You can get like nurse for
Yeah, there's
any of
other
those things
people.
now, yeah.
You get them and say it's listed at 300, hey, if you wanna live in this area, you get it for 150. That is a steal.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
Just gotta live there 3 years.
I'm good, right?
Isn't that amazing?
Shoot.
That's what I'm thinking, like,
Like-
how long does it take to be a paramedic?
Yeah, right,
I
exactly.
can't look at blood, so that'd be a problem.
Yeah,
Just cover it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
So
Yeah.
that's called HUD Home Store if you wanted to visit it.
Sounds delightful.
Hasn't been much on
Can't
there
beat.
the last few years, but they're starting to come back.
They're starting to come back. We just got one,
Yeah.
so that was pretty awesome. And some old lady has it. She's been in the background going, I can't wait to get into the HUD Home Store before everybody else, and she's in. You know?
That's insane.
So now we're talking about it, you know? A lot of people don't know about it. Some of the old timers do, but that's why that lady is in it, because it's old timers waiting to jump on the bit, right?
So she's not going anywhere, it
Was it
sounds
Lori
like,
Jones?
right?
Lori Jones used to list a ton of
She
HUD.
doesn't anymore, she's gone too,
No,
you know?
she's gone.
Yep. Yeah, because it stopped, but now it's starting back up. So if anybody figures anything out, let me know. We could all start jumping in, submitting applications to asset managers.
That's the thing, it seems like you can't, they're so protected and hidden, it's hard to actually get to the person you need to talk to be able to get signed up for any of that stuff. You
This
know
is
what I
hard.
mean? Yeah.
Because a lot of them too will have like FAMs do it too, like First Americans.
And you run into like you have like 10 big giant loan servicers now. So even though I might, like my bank might own that underlying asset, the servicers have all their people that do all that. So like that combination of Rocket Mortgage, Mr. Cooper, all that combination, we're gonna lose 90% of that business because they're just gonna handle it on their side.
And it's all remote, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah. And so are you guys doing a lot of short sales right now? Do you know how many by chance?
Last number I heard, we were at 30, and then Cat left, and now, yeah. I don't know what the number is still, but I know that they are very busy right now.
Do you guys have a short sale department thing too?
They're working on it right now.
Okay. Wow, because you guys see it coming.
It's,
Yep, they do. But you can also tell by, by looking in the databases, you can see, I think there are over 30,000 delinquent taxes in the state of Colorado. So that's one indicator. And then you also see the ones that are in default. You can see that on the weekly list, but you can also, I can pull different reports and find all kinds of information. And I talked to all my investors yesterday. They met and they see that as the biggest thing that's coming. Is that it's such an opportunity to help these people that are in over their heads. And either get them into reverse mortgages, get them out of the house that may be too big for them if they're older. There's all kinds of opportunities for them. So yeah, they all think that's what's happening and what's coming. sad. It's very sad. Yeah.
kind of, is that like the natural progression we were seeing where people were just upside down, right? And now we're gonna start seeing actual foreclosures.
And the forbearance has come, that's going away October 1 too, I think for VA, FHA, I think that's all going away. So that's another 2 million homes that, they're gonna have to figure out what to do.
Wow.
So that's an indicator too.
But at the same time, it's like during the crash, there was a lot of foreclosures and you see families, you go to the auction, you pick up a property, you go to it, it's vacant. It's full of furniture, full of clothes, they only grabbed what was essential. And
When the sheriff showed up or whatever.
no, they left before it got sold, because they're getting all this, we're gonna foreclose, and you don't wanna be evicted, so you just take your stuff and leave.
Go.
And so then the investors would buy it at the auction, they would go in and get a big dumpster and just throw it all in the trash. But at first I was like, oh, it's so sad, this would be so devastating. But then I started realizing, this is actually a cleansing process. If I had to take my family, that's the most important thing to me, and certain things, you know, the kids' Xbox, or pick out your best thing, we're gonna go sit in Aunt Mary's
dog.
basement, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and everything goes away, all my priorities change. I really get back to what's the most important thing in my life, which is my family, and I'm gonna restart my new thing. So it's kind of almost like a fire where you lose everything, you're starting over. All your priorities change. All the stuff that you were just trying to get a quarter out at the
All the
garage
stuff that you
sales, and
hate.
I need an extra quarter, 10 cents,
Really
no,
don't
put it back in, put it back up. You know,
Well, it
and
certainly is a way to
all of that's,
purge.
it's a purging and cleansing process. And so I started feeling, when I'd go into these repos, I'd be like, you know, these people, I bet they're a lot happier now. I know it sounds horrible,
Stress is a
but
big
the
deal.
stress of
Yeah.
losing your
Well, the
home,
stress of
losing
not
all your-
being able to pay.
Yeah.
Right,
Uh-huh.
and by the
And
time
getting
you're
those
done, you're
letters.
done, you're like, here you go,
Yep.
here's my couch.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you're done, you
Yeah.
So I think, I saw in the news, it was last week, that credit card debt, that was the biggest decrease in people's credit was last week, I think it was last month. So
Wow.
credit card debt is,
Wow.
you know, is definitely coming, you know, I think that's catching up with everybody.
Mm.
And so that's why there's gonna be a lot more, you know, short sales as well, because they can't pay their credit cards, they can't pay their car payments. So that, you'll see that, and then they can't pay their house either.
Just pay your house payment.
Everything else,
Let everything else
everything but a
go.
student loan you can wrap into a bankruptcy.
Your
So-
student loans aren't forgiven in bankruptcy.
Mm-mm.
No, that's what I mean, everything but student loans you
Oh, I
can
see
wrap
what you're
into a bankruptcy.
So are you seeing a lot of refis right now?
Not as many as you would think.
They're seeing a lot of
I mean,
refis.
We're seeing a
Yes.
ton of refis.
Do you see
Yeah.
refis?
A few. It wasn't as big as.
You know,
What you
that's,
thought?
it's funny, I told 3 people last week not to refinance. When you look at, I mean, everybody's trigger point's different, right? What $300 a month means to me could be different than $300 to you. And so you have these conversations with people, you weigh cost versus benefit. And, you know, the person saving $50 a month, that could be the biggest benefit in their life.
Yeah.
And they're gonna refinance, even though the cost of, you know, like we look at it on paper and go, that's the dumbest thing you could do. Oh, why would you do that? But
Just
you
don't go to
can.
To
Starbucks.
save.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Right,
you
yeah.
can, so.
Right.
I got like 6 of these at Ross, so I just fill them up.
Right, right.
But to them, maybe.
Yeah.
So there is, and
Everybody's
there's,
different.
I get,
Oh, I gotta remember.
I talked to 2 people out of that with the,
My family.
like a, I don't know, being recorded. They call it like Rocket or Quicken, you know,
Yeah.
the big dogs. You know, you're moving from 6.5 on a VA loan that you got a year ago down to 5.75 or something.
Yeah.
But they charge you 3 points to do that. So, you know,
Is it
some
worth it?
people
Yeah.
don't,
Right.
they don't understand the math
Right.
that they're adding back onto their loan. So, you know, like in reality, I just tell people, hey, this doesn't make sense. Like your recuperation time's 5-6 years. Like,
Right.
There's
For
probably gonna be-
$300 a month.
there's going to be opportunity. Most likely going to be opportunity 6 months from now, 12 months from now. Like,
Yeah.
it's up to you. What's it worth to you? And so I talk a lot of people out of refinancing. So I'm shitty.
Great for your
I'm a shitty lender.
I talk people out of selling and renting their house. I
Real
get
estate
it.
side go.
Yeah, yeah. I talk people out of buying houses too. This crappy all around. But in reality, like I gotta, you know, because
gotta sleep at night,
you know,
right?
We went through all that stuff too with the subprime and the. Like, man, I gotta sleep at night. I can't put people in crappy stuff.
Right,
I just
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
How many
Somebody
points
will
do you
do it.
guys charge for refinance?
It's up to you. Whatever you want. I mean, I can charge you 10 points. I can't actually. I can charge you up to 6, or I could charge you nothing, or I could give you credit back to make it make sense. Which a lot of the VA stuff, you know, it makes sense. Instead of taking 5.5 and paying 3 points, maybe you take 5.875, and I cover half of all of your closing costs.
So you can pay more points to get a
Yeah.
lower rate.
So it doesn't always. Anyway, there's no set like it costs X to refinance. So.
Yeah.
Because you still got to pay title fees, you got to renew your escrow, you got to do, and we're losing a lot of that actually to those existing loan servicers. So if you pay PennyMac, you pay Quicken, Rocket, any of these guys, they're actually holding your escrow. So like if you come to any of us that are independent, we're setting up a new escrow account because it could get servicing, could get sent somewhere else, and then you get your refund back for whatever's sitting in that escrow account. And they're just taking that and almost like a recast, just redoing your loan without that escrow, so you don't see that greater fluctuation in initial loan balance that you would have going to an independent.
So I have a question on the non-allowable fees.
It's a great question.
That's a great question, because I am lost. I'm an employing broker. So you gotta help us figure this out.
So it used to be
On the contract, it says 4.4, you're gonna pay $6,000 in concessions, right? And then it says you can use this for anything, blah, 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 blah,
4.2.
blah. What?
4.2.
4.2, okay. What's 4.2? It used to be 4.4. It moves. And then you have the other thing down below where the loan says, and it says, hey, somebody will pay up to $1,000, the seller will pay up to $1,000 of non-allowable,
Yeah.
whatever. And sometimes people put 0, sometimes people put 1,000. And then we're always battling in the counter. You know, that section 4.2 needs to cover your non-allowables too. Tell us how that's working now, non-allowables.
Yeah, so it used to be,
Does everybody know what non-allowables are first?
the VA has this whole list of fees that are not allowed to be charged to the veteran. So non-allowable fees.
Like a
Which-
underwriting fee,
Well, it used to be your admin fees too.
admin fee, right, right.
So those-
Junk fees they call
Yeah,
them.
the junk fees. Some of them were legitimate fees, but
Right, but they call them junk.
they called them junk fees.
So
So
now
they
they're
have this
allowed?
long list to do that. So they can actually, vets can actually now pay your admin fee also. They changed that about a little over a year ago. And so, anyway, the rule, the VA's rule is that the veteran can now pay up to 1% of their sale price in closing costs to include all of those junk fees.
So that one section of the contract should be just taken out.
Irrelevant.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Unless,
always wondering about that when I get a counter back.
so you say that, like Colorado, it's not very relevant in Colorado, but you go to New York where you're paying an attorney fee of $20,000 on a $200,000 purchase price, then yeah, that's very relevant. 'cause
Oh,
there's, you know,
Attorney
gotcha.
state.
Because it
That's
can only be a
VA
certain
VA
percent.
specific.
VA, yeah, VA specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So everybody,
So for
you know
Colorado,
where that
we-
is, right in the contract, yep.
Yeah, we don't necessarily have to deal with, that's why I usually tell my agents, like, yeah, you just leave it at 0, you don't have to do that.
Do you usually put $1,000 or anything in there?
Are you talking about for an assumption?
No,
for the-
I don't.
See what.
I mean,
what
I
that
just,
is.
cause like, I just put it into seller concessions,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
how much do we need to cover everything?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna ask for.
Which is why they switched that, because so you don't have to delineate the
Yeah.
two.
Oh, I just leave it blank. I don't charge. I pay
Yeah.
the admin stuff separately. So.
I was thinking about that now, I was like, yeah.
But beforehand, I mean, before last year, you could have an admin fee in there and you'd have to eat it because the vet couldn't, they were not allowed to
Yeah, I
pay for
remember
that.
that.
Right.
But they can now,
Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. Because
as long as
some
they're
of you
not
guys say,
paying.
hey, can you review my contracts and review it? And I see some contracts that have like 1,000 in there, some of them say 0. And I always
Those of
wonder
us
how
have
it
been around
shakes
for a while.
out, you know, in the
Yeah,
end.
we always used to put $1,200, $1,000.
Right, exactly, right.
Because that's what it used to be, like between an underwriting fee and some, you know, whatever other BS they had on those lists.
Let me see where that's at.
So what do you think is better, to put 1,000 or put 0?
0, he's saying. He's saying that 4.2.
You don't need to put,
should
you know, as
cover
long as you
everything.
ask the lender, like, hey, are you charging them more than the 1% of the sale price in closing costs? Which if you have anything in 4.2, you don't really need anything in that other section.
I'll probably just call Rob at 9:30 like.
That's what happens.
I'm like, hey Rob, sorry you're sleeping.
That's what I wanted to know. Oh, it is 4.2 now. What was 4?
I'm a nerd.
I am not, so.
Well, I
My
hate it.
words.
Every year when they change the contract, things change around. And I remember when additional provisions would be section 30, and then it would change to something else, like 28. And then, so I'm constantly seeing the wrong numbers, because I'm
Yeah.
not paying attention to the numbers.
Which, you know, this forum's like things that have screwed up, what's gone wrong, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you, I just left a closing and I've been on the phone for the last hour. The inspection resolution just call your whoever is doing lending and just have a conversation with them about how to best write that.
Oh,
Because
no.
when you don't tell us about it and then try to give a closing, like a credit at closing, that really F's up the situation. So this example, they had written a side amendment for $1,800 in closing costs, did not provide me with the inspection resolution, even though I try to get it just so I can avoid shit like this. I didn't get it, but it also listed stuff with the roof, stuff with sewer, and then a radon. Please also don't put in your radon test needs to come under 4 picocuries. That is the worst shit in the world. Just give them the credit. So yeah, anyway, they were trying to provide a seller credit. So now, like, this happened all after we left the closing. And then somebody provided the title company with this extra inspection resolution. And now we're like trying to fund a loan and get everybody paid, get your checks, get the keys.
But the title company has to send it to the lender.
Now, guess who has to like try to find this over $750. So now you're
my God.
redrafting all kinds of crap. Little girl didn't get her keys, like had to come back and deliver the keys and set up
Who made the
loan.
mistake?
Everybody makes that
Realtor.
mistake.
That's what I said.
So on the inspection resolution, it says buyer must provide this to your lender. Who reads that, right? You guys don't even know about that, right?
No, I have people call me and
Yeah,
go, look, we do not want this to go to the lender. Right? I'm a listing agent,
Yeah.
okay? I send a resolution, and they're like, we just need to not send this to the lender. I'm like, oh, well, you guys do whatever you want, and we end up closing.
Which is probably what happened in this scenario.
That's
right?
exactly right.
So you do.
I
what you
can't
want.
believe they're actually telling me that they will not, they do not want you guys to know.
Yeah.
When it says right on there, this
Yes,
is part of the
this to the
contract.
lender.
It is, yes. Since Oliver put it in there, it is part of the contract,
That's
man.
right,
I mean, it just
exactly.
is what it is. So I always try to be super vague about that, like adjust. That's why I know 4.2, because I always say just adjust 4.2 to whatever credit you wanted to do it. Just do that on the inspection resolution, and all the other crap. I don't need to know what was done, what you're not gonna do, because it's supposed to go to the lender. Like, just tell me what you are gonna do, and if there's credits for something else, write that side on a separate amendment. Or be very vague about what it is or what it's for. Kind of lump it all in. I know you guys want to have the accountability.
Well, we have a couple that are going on right now.
Yeah.
Yours. Let's ask about that one that you're including like furniture or whatever,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bill of sale.
Yeah.
Tell us about that and let's see what they say.
So that's why they put that in the contract, because now you check off that little section that says you're doing this on a separate bill of sale, and it's all a separate bill of sale. And that's
Okay,
no problem.
So that's better.
In the inclusions
If you're
on the contract,
like use a hot tub, for example.
it says refrigerator, hot tub,
Yeah.
leave the shed,
But a
boiler.
hot tub's not, like, that's not part of the appraised value, so we're not supposed to use hot tub, even though it's hardwired. Less than a
So
refrigerator.
then the title guys, if we have on our contract, leave the hot tub, refrigerator, leave the Cadillac in the, because this happened to me, leave a Cadillac in the garage. Okay,
Wow.
yeah.
Cash buyer, no problem. You do that all day
But
long.
now, can we give you guys a bill of sale and say the Cadillac's worth $50 or $500?
I think $10.
Because it's all relative to, I mean, what's it worth somebody, you know?
What someone's willing to pay.
Willing to pay for
Right,
it.
so do we just give you guys the numbers and you guys do the bill of sale? Cause I've been to Heritage and Julie was like, here's a bill of sale for the couple things or whatever.
I'm not a closer, so I would not answer that one.
Do you know? You do the bill of sale, okay.
But the bill of sale is in CTM now. I mean, you can just do it.
Well, I know, but, okay. I just tell Julie, she doesn't, here's what it is, a
Yeah,
couple
just
of
do this.
things.
In my
So-
particular circumstance, like, we had a lot, like, that my seller's like, we don't want to take any of this stuff. And so all of it was listed in the MLS, and it was, the buyer's agent that was like, hey, let's do a bill of sale because their lender wanted it that way, right? So, you know, that's,
Or the other thing to do is like all these items to be left at zero,
yeah.
you know.
Value.
We just
How
put
much
zero
can we put
value
in the
on it, but it's
contract?
like 2 beverage fridges, a TV and stand in the living room, the TV and mount that's on the deck, the patio furniture around the natural gas
Yeah.
fire pit, the
So-
natural gas fire.
Right,
pit.
Whatever's
yeah.
on the contract,
You know, the
Julie puts
theater
on the
equipment, the
bill of
surround
sale
sound
for the
speakers,
documents.
the this, the that,
Oh.
whatever.
Yeah, the
So-
inclusion.
The main thing when you're
Oh.
financing
That's the
is
inclusions
that
and
it-
exclusions,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
So
not
whatever-
But
supposed
they
to
want a
finance that
value
in
to
the
it, don't
value.
they? The lender.
Right.
Right. So I mean, it's like if you're doing a $2 million house, all that stuff's kind of assumed in the value, right? A lot of that stuff.
Right, that's true. Like an Airbnb or
But if
something
you're
like all
doing,
furniture.
so we used to run into this in Summit County all the time because it was, everything was sold fully furnished.
Yeah.
You had to write these. That's why they put. in
So do you
that
guys
bill of
require
sale.
a value to it?
Can you
in the
just
bill
put
of
Depends on
sale?
how
zero?
much crap it is. You put a Cadillac at zero value, probably
Yeah,
not.
sure.
Because it like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, it's an inducement to sell. And so
Okay.
when you're doing a conventional loan, I mean any kind of loan, that's an inducement to sell. You're not supposed to have in there.
Do you do the bill of sale because you want to separate the value of the real estate from the
Personal
furniture,
property.
fixtures and equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sold like a 45,000 square foot building and they had custom everything and, you know, we had it all itemized, there was a lot, it was a
Yeah.
big building.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, $1, you know,
Yeah.
and then, so then the real estate was really worth less than what we said it, you know, because, but they,
And when you're paying cash, no, you could put them.
no, they didn't pay cash, but I'm just saying it.
Well, it's different for commercial, because
Yeah.
commercial, again, you do commercial lending, I've had people leave Harley Davidsons and
Oh, yeah,
all
really
kinds of
lots of
shit.
stuff. Mhm.
Commissions paid in motorcycles and Corvettes and, like, you do whatever you want. But when you're trying to fit into that Fannie Freddie box, it's gotta meet those requirements. And so that's what, and it's all interpretation, right? I mean, it's like,
So how does that dealt with on the, is it just like on the settlement statement?
So does it have to have a dollar amount or can it be zero?
that is a great question.
Gotcha.
I would tell you.
We say
if it's-
zero.
What's easier?
If it's yard, so like Boulder County, for example, you close on a house there. Oh, you know how on a personal property where they ask you, was there any personal property conveyed? We just leave it blank, leave it zero. So I got mine sent back when I bought up there, and they were like, no, you've got to put in a value. Your carpet's worth something, your hardwood floors, your cabinets, your, like, all that stuff is personal property that's valued at something.
That's
So you had to fill
Wait, your hardwood
On the
floors?
TD 1000.
whatever it was. I don't
Okay,
know,
I thought if it
fireplace,
was
I don't
stuck
know.
down, you know, it's like an
But
appurtenant
That's
thing.
like if you're
Right.
attached, it's not supposed to count. But
Right.
anyway, so
Sometimes they do, I guess.
So it's a 50-50.
it depends on what it is. I would say if it's like a hot tub, a pool table, you could probably put in there things that are hard to move. You can put in there at zero value, because then the appraiser can look at that and go, "Ah, it's right."
Who
House
cares?
is the
It
house.
costs more to move it than buy
You
it.
put a Cadillac in
Hot
there,
tubs.
you can almost be. I can almost guarantee you
Which one?
a
What?
car.
Oh, yeah.
Like a car in the garage, if that's left on it, like, yeah, you're probably,
It's
you
convertible
would
too.
probably want to bill a sale for that.
$50.
Yeah,
$50 convertible
yeah.
Cadillac. The guy
Yeah.
killed himself and
Yeah.
his wife was like, I don't want that.
Don't want
His
it.
cat, I don't want
Oh
his
my
Cadillac. $50.
Yeah.
Well, she said just take it, but can we give you $50?
Right.
We gotta even-
I know,
yeah,
right?
something.
We just left a Beamer for the agent because he was moving out of the country and it was too expensive.
More expensive.
Yeah,
to
right,
move it. So he's like,
exactly.
the keys I left in the car for
That's
you.
awesome. Here's the
Very
title.
happy.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's
awesome.
Sweet.
So really, I mean, only comes, like, if you're financing, that's the only time it really becomes an issue. But if you're trying to do high financing, then most people are gonna ask you to do a bill of sale.
Okay,
But that's
so
why
then I
they've
think you
changed
have
it.
one that's coming up that we have to write up. What
The
did the guy want again?
dishwasher, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, dishwasher. Okay, let's talk about that.
Functional kitchen, I don't think any.
Okay, so the
upgrades-
dishwasher doesn't work.
Ah.
So you could either ask the seller, I want you to replace the dishwasher, with a new dishwasher, but then the seller's gonna go out and buy a $250 used dishwasher.
Plastic
Or
inside.
you have your buyer go out, look at Home Depot, find, like comparable $600 dishwasher or whatever, and then you tell the seller, we want you to pay at closing. Or
This is like
how would you want
allowance.
to do that?
I would just add it to 4.2. That is the easiest path of least resistance to not raise any. So my whole goal as a lender is to not raise any red flags in your contract. If I can look at your contract and kind of shrink down and make it vague enough so that
Okay.
an underwriter does not ask a question.
But what if you have 7,000 in closing costs and the lender can only do 6,500? You can't add it to 4.2.
So that is always a problem. That's why communication is always, so we never want to leave anything on the table. But if you got it, like for example, a VA loan and an FHA loan, you can utilize 4.2 or any of those seller concessions for debt reduction. So I've done that in the past where I've had.
It is a VA loan that we're doing.
Is it VA loan?
Yeah.
Just put it in 4.2 and then have your guy go out and charge up whatever, buy a new kitchen on a Home Depot credit card, submit that, gets paid off at closing, good to go.
So I have a question.
Really?
If you draft a bill of sale,
If you're over your
Right.
4.2.
Yeah.
is it a given and a must that an appraiser has to like deduct the value of that from the property? Because
No.
say for instance, when she drafted her bill of sale, I mean, there's things, right, that are attached to the property. I mean, nobody would take those. Like this house was heavily upgraded.
Right.
It's got, a covered deck that's enclosed on 3 sides. It's got 4 heaters that you can crank,
Wow,
so
cool.
you can set out
Right.
there and fireplace.
Like that's all part of the value.
You
It's
know what
all
I mean? So
attached.
like, she put those on the bill of sale, but like nobody's gonna rip out heaters. Nobody's ripping out a
No, right,
fireplace,
yeah.
right? Like that.
Right. She
Those
probably
are
didn't-
items that should be included in the value
They're
of the home.
attached.
They're
Yeah,
attached.
they're attached.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, I was just curious, like if it's like an
Yeah, you probably
appraiser's
didn't
like.
need to do
It-
that much, but
This is from one of those master appraisal forums. But yeah, so like he says, like he doesn't do any adjustments in regards to like jet tubs, fireplaces, porches, decks. But when it comes to any other thing, do those items influence a purchasing decision on the part of a buyer? If so, then those should probably be adjusted. So I don't know.
that's your inducement to buy.
Yeah.
Got it. Right.
I had it's Mike Garrett. I don't know if you guys have ever had him do an appraisal, but he had me so worried I went and looked up all of his comments in any appraiser form he'd ever made.
Because it's like, we have a natural gas fire pit too.
But that
We're not gonna rip out the natural gas fire pit. If it's a movable one on propane, yeah, maybe,
but that's something on a line item on
like,
an
so
appraisal
our
that you
stuff
can-
really doesn't equal, but like garage value for TVs and
Yeah.
the patio furniture that
Really
goes
the
around
big thing, because that's what
fire
Summit
pit,
County
but-
used to be, because if you're buying a condo for $500,000, but you got all it's fully equipped with Ethan Allen stuff,
Yeah.
you got leather couches and beds and TVs and all that. That really shouldn't be part of the finance sale
Yeah.
price.
Right.
So that's why that got written into the contracts. So back when Tony was on the forms committee, that's how we kind of came up with that.
Yeah, when you see a $300,000 house go for 2.5 million, there's a Van Gogh on the wall inside there.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, because that's the main thing. Is we don't want to be financing personal property that can
That's right,
that
right.
can just pick up and be gone. And now, like when that buyer leaves or gets foreclosed on and takes all their crap,
It's worth
Where's the
300 grand again.
where's the
Where's the
value?
value?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Anyway, yeah, just talk to your lender, man. Like, 'cause everybody's different, and if you can't get a hold of your lender, don't use them.
Right?
Anything else going on? What is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's almost time to quit. Anything else? Nothing? Oh, I have a couple announcements. Hold on. To wrap up here. I don't know if you saw my newsletter, but I'm gonna announce this now. I would like to, we're already booking it. October, November. Okay, so on the, when is Thanksgiving? What date is Thanksgiving on?
Thursday.
November
Like the
28th?
It's like the last
27th?
week.
The week, yes.
This year, it's the last week of, I believe.
Okay, okay, it's the 29th of November on Saturday. No, well, this isn't Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving's, you know, like
The
Thursday.
27th.
Yeah. I'm gonna book Kingpin Bowling Alley, 24 lanes. And I'd like to have like a choir bowling party. I did this one time where I rented out the whole bowling alley. And I invited a bunch of clients, past clients and future clients and all kinds of people. We filled it up. It cost me like $2,100 for free food. You know, they'd go and get their nachos and everything, free food, free bowling. I made it an ugly sweater thing where everybody had to wear ugly sweaters, you know, for Christmas and stuff. And then I walked around with a microphone and I'd be like, okay, you know, that's the ugliest sweater is $100, and here's $100. You know, I was giving away money, and everybody had this great time, and it cost me like $2,100. So this time I don't know if I want to do it by myself. I'm thinking let's do it with all of our clients. Like, if I'm going to get you guys the exact price. I think I gave each person $15 in food and the bowling. Let's say it's like $25 or something per person. You guys could say, look, I want to invite 10 people, you know, whatever. Okay, that's so many lanes, and so you're paying a couple hundred, and you're paying a couple hundred. So let's all do it together where we can invite people, and we'll just have a big acquire ugly sweater bowling party.
Bowling night.
And we'll get some lenders to sponsor like the $100 ugly sweaters, right? You know, get the lenders to go around and say that guy's got the ugliest sweater, or that person's got the, and then we'll give out the $100 to them.
Did
And
we have to wear ugly sweaters too?
oh yeah, I won one.
The spirit.
Yeah, you just.
Maybe in the spirit.
Oh, I didn't win. I had a really good one
Yeah,
too,
you
but
did.
I can't win my, you know, our own
Oh,
thing.
okay.
But it's really fun, and all my
Muscle man.
clients were clamoring for me to do that again, but man, it was a lot of work by myself. So you guys would have to help me in this.
How many people did you have?
We had about
Like 85 or
85
Yeah,
people.
that's a lot.
And it
Oh,
could
that's
fit
pretty
120
substantial.
in the lanes, but I had 85.
So like, you know, like I would think like 8 of my closest referral sources.
Exactly,
My friends
right,
Slash
right.
You know, people that know and love me. Like, it'd be fun.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, it would be fun.
That was behind
do you
that
have
Club
it?
Q after the issue. It was right,
Yeah.
right there. I remember that. You
What's
were
that?
driving-
I think it was
That
a week
Club
after.
Q, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And there was all these memorials, and I'm like, wow, what kind of a janky bowling.
Well, bowling alley's probably gonna be in a janky location.
What time would it be?
We rented out the bowling alley for 2 to 5 p.m. on the 29th.
29.
Okay. Yeah, I think I have 7.
Okay, yeah, cool, okay. So yeah, I'll get you the exact details, but I want you guys to put it on your calendars. Cause man, if we could fill
Is
the
that
whole
November?
bowling alley,
November.
it would be awesome. Cause it can take 120, there's 24 lanes. If you had 4 people, I mean, you could have 5 people per lane, but that would give them a limited amount of bowling. I'd say 4 is probably best.
So that's a Saturday, Rob?
But if you have like, let's say you have 2 couples, but then you have one person that's just random, you throw them in there as 5 on one lane, but yeah, so you could have up to, if you had 5 on each lane and 24 lanes, that's a lot of people, 120 people. Yeah, so that'd be cool.
Just make sure you don't have poker that night.
No, it's 2 to
Monday.
5, it's 2 to 5.
No, but I mean,
You
poker's on
bolt out of there and go to poker.
Oh.
Okay, then the other one, put on your calendars. I think it's the 13th of December. Oh yeah, we're gonna have an Acquire Christmas party at my house with just us, people in the office. I thought about renting out a place, but there's gonna be millions of people renting out places, and I don't wanna get it all together. My wife will get one together at my house. So I'll get you the details on that. But put the 13th of December. That's gonna be a Saturday as well. And I'm sure there's gonna be conflicts with everybody, but that's okay.
What,
If
do you have
there's
a time?
10 of us, we'll have fun. 5:30 to whatever. Okay?
And like us
And
and
I'll
our
invite the
spouses?
title people too.
Hey, your parties are the happening place, man.
Okay, anything else?
Scott, do you still have in the mornings that tech help thing?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Every day except for Thursdays.
Okay.
Everybody knows about that? 10 o'clock, you can sign in anytime. Every day at 10 o'clock, Scott's on if you need some sort of help with something. Contract issues or whatever. I try to get in once in a while, but
I was up till midnight trying to figure out how to send an email on Bold Trail. I can't. I don't know. I made a campaign and then I assigned it to somebody, and then Bold Trail was like, "You didn't sign him a campaign," and kicked him back into the pond.
Oh.
I don't know.
well,
what
you
I'm
guys
doing.
can figure that out. All right.
You have to make sure your campaign's turned on. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I think you can't assign it. It doesn't run, right? Like there's a
Well,
little toggle in there.
yeah, you can turn them off, but if you assigned it, it should just be.